Today on TimesCast Tech, Apple freezes over-the-phone password changes.
Who here has at some time had trouble getting paid by a client?
The push to protect tech designers and developers.
A lot of them stick their head in the sand a little bit about troubling and sticky legal issues.
And Microsoft conceptualizes the connected home. What would scare you most about losing control of your electronic life? Would it be your bank accounts, your music, your email, or your most treasured photos? What else? What would be worse, losing them or knowing they're in the hands of a complete stranger? Last weekend, that happened to Matt Honan, a technology reporter for Wired magazine. He's on the line with us now. Matt, how you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me, Quentin.
Okay, before we start, we should say that some of the things that happened to you probably can't happen exactly the same way again. Both Apple and Amazon say they fixed the flaws in their security systems that the hackers exploited to take over your life. But let's back up. Tell us a little bit about what happened to you.
Basically, this group of hackers decided they wanted to take my Twitter handle. That's their thing. They take a lot of Twitter handles. And to do that, they did a little bit of background research on me, and they used this exploit where you formerly could upload a new credit card to someone else's Amazon account. So they can call in and say, here's a credit card, please add it to my account. Then you call back, tell Amazon you want, or could tell Amazon that you want to get into your account with a new email address. You give them the phony credit card number that you just added to an account, and Amazon will let you in.
Okay, and so once they were in Amazon, they could get into Apple, and once they got into Apple, they got into Twitter?
Well, once they got into Amazon, you can see someone's Amazon account. You can view in there the last 4 digits of a credit card number. And this is just how they got to me. But the real trick was that you used to be, and Apple changed, they put a temporary hold on issuing password resets over the phone. But until they did that, you could call up Apple, give them an AppleCare ID, which is just the email address you use,
right,
a billing address, and the last 4 digits of a credit card. When you did that, they would issue a temporary reset password over the phone. And
right.
That's how they got my account.
Now, so you're not aware of any of this. You're aware of it when you're playing with your daughter and suddenly your electronic life just starts to blow up around you, right? Your phone went off and
it was crazy.
Your laptop stopped working. What else happened?
It was nuts. All of a sudden my phone turned off and went to this reset screen, and initially I just thought it was a little glitch, and I tried plugging it in. Then my password didn't work. I went to plug it into my computer to try and back it up. And when I opened my laptop screen, it went to this gray screen and asked me for a 4-digit PIN that I didn't have. And I could see that my drive was being remotely wiped, or it appeared it was.
Oh my gosh, like Skynet had taken over. So
yeah, exactly. I actually thought initially that someone had gotten into my local area network, and so I just turned off my internet connection and called AppleCare to see what could be done. And pretty quickly discovered that someone had gotten into that account and then used that to delete my entire Google account, my Twitter account.
Okay, so your entire life gets ripped apart. And what's the response to this? What's it like when that happens to you? How do you feel now?
I'm still basically dealing with all the fallout from this. My first reaction was just extremely, it was extreme paranoia and kind of fear about what else are they doing. I didn't know if they were doing my online banking. I didn't know what actions they were taking other than the obvious ones of deleting all my data.
Well, do you know now?
Now I'm still not fully aware. I mean, I know I've been in touch with one of the hackers. I know what they told me they've done, but I don't feel like I know for sure. No, and so I've been going through kind of methodically and changing passwords every day and trying to just restore some accounts, and
slowly you can begin to have control over your life and maybe put this back together. But for the sake of this not happening to other people, what else do you think needs to be done for this to be a more secure system?
I think Apple and other companies have an obligation to, if they're protecting our data, if we are using their services, their cloud services to control our devices, they have an obligation to set up very secure methods of identity authentication, where you can't, authenticate a account based on just one password or one set of questions or one, easily obtained item like the last 4 digits of a of a credit card number that are on a receipt, on all kinds of things that are publicly available.
Okay. All right, well, thank you very much. From internet security, we go to internet law. There's a viral video in the tech world with a memorable title that I can't say on this show. It pays tribute to a famous mafia movie with the line, "Pay me." It's a talk by creative designer Mike Monteiro about the problems designers like him have getting paid by big companies. Monteiro's lawyer, Gabe Levine, joined him in the talk. We asked Gabe Levine to sit down for our recurring segment, Questions 4.
Gabe Levine, everybody. This guy's been keeping me out of jail for about 6 years.
The design industry and the development industry, and I'm talking web and applications design and development, is filled with good, creative, talented people, but a lot of them don't have a lot of business background, and a lot of them stick their head in the sand a little bit about troubling and sticky legal issues. The most common problem is oftentimes a contract between somebody who is developing an application or a website, or both, and the person or company more often that they're developing it for.
Their contracts can be, if they have them, a mess.
And a lot of times these are big companies. Their master services agreements tend to be pretty overbearing. I think at some point you're going to find perhaps even some legislation, whether that's in the veil of the SOPA and PIPA type issues, that needs to address the rights that have to do with source code and open source versus these larger companies owning wholesale in the context of a work made for hire all of the rights to that source code, which is frankly the way the world works now, not really possible with most applications that are being developed.
And we end this week's show with a visit to the kitchen and the living room of Microsoft's highly wired, computer-intensive home of the future.
Hi, Quentin. How are you?
Hello, Craig. Last week I was in Seattle and visited Craig Monday, who's Microsoft's Chief Research and Strategy Officer, inside a home they've decorated with products they think will be on the market in just a few years. The centerpiece of the home is a giant glass screen. It's a television, a console to control heating and lighting, and offers access to email and lots of entertainment.
One of the things everybody always complains about is that there's too many remote controls. So one of the goals is to be able to have an interface that allows people to have sort of one remote control that does everything.
For those who are getting a little older, Craig's colleague, Jonathan Klutz, showed me how medical reminders can be projected on the kitchen countertop to make sure people take the right medicines and dosages.
Okay, so here I can set my jars out on the countertop. It actually reads the barcode on the top of the various containers.
Microsoft's idea is to get visitors thinking about how we will live as our personal data, like our health histories, our kids' schedules, the movies we own, even our board games, can be stored and moved around in the cloud and piped even onto our kitchen tables.
If you cast a shadow over the propeller, the plane will take off.
That's a little sci-fi, but it's not crazy. Look, Microsoft's been pushing devices like this for years, and eventually things like this do happen. Many other companies offer ways to transform domestic life using your mobile phone. Remember that old wall socket timer where you could plug it in and turn the lights on and off at night so you're not home, the kind that would fool robbers? Well, now a company called Belkin offers a device called the Wemo, which, paired with an iPhone app, allows you to do more than just turn off the lights. Say you forgot to turn off the iron, or it's hot and you're worried maybe your pet's getting a little overheated and you can't get home in time to do anything about that. You plug this into the wall and you plug your air conditioner into it, and that way you can remotely turn the air conditioner on or off. There are dozens of devices that run on Androids too, offering remote home security, lighting, music, and temperature control. Another company called Nest offers a home thermostat that learns your family's daily habits. Motion sensors measure where you're going, what time you're in and out, and what temperatures you like it day and night are also recorded. And if the house is empty, it lowers the temperature to save energy and money. That way, you don't have to spend thousands to have a sweet crib. That's our show. You can read all about these stories at nytimes.com/tech. Thanks for watching.